We are live.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, from wherever we are. It's the Clinic Foundation once again, and today things are a bit different. As you can see, we have my name is Bukola Oche, and I'm the one anchoring the program today. So it's nice to have us all on. I want to introduce our guest. We all know her, but before then, I want to talk about what the clinic is about. As we all know, the clinic is a platform where we help the youth and the young adults to maintain virtue while breaking limits, and we also catch the children young by giving them the right orientation about life. Here we have today our face of the clinic herself to anchor today's, as our guests, really. So, we have actually been talking about, we've talked about the girl child, we've talked about the boy child as well, and also we've been discussing about how a mother raise a boy child. We've talked about how a single mother raise a boy child. And today we are talking about something quite different. We are talking about how to manage the pressure to get married. You know, I've talked about something before I bring in our guests. I just want to say this intro. This life itself is full of pressure, really, from when a child is born to, even when the child is born and when he start school, yeah, people are like, when will this child start school? Start school again is another pressure. At the beginning, is the parents taking in the pressure, but it gets to a point where the pressure starts to be the child's pressure. And at this point, they want to know how is a child handling this pressure. At the point when the child is to get into the university, your mates are already in the university. When is your jam going to come out? When are you going to enter? Those are the pressure that the child faces. Then when it's time for the child now to get married, people don't generally have an age that the child is supposed to get married. And that is a tag that naturally everybody just believe at this age you should be married. And then there's pressure from who? Pressure from family, pressure from friends, pressure from even you yourself. So at this point, we want to address this pressure. And today I'm going to be bringing on our face of the clinic herself, that's in person of Tosin Oladimeji Ladipo. You're welcome. You're clapping, you're clapping. So can you please introduce yourself to us,
Thank you
Tosin?
so much, Buki. Thank you so much. Ohe, thank you, Buki. She has said several times her name is not Oche, that she is Ohe. Okay, I've taken to that
No, not
correction.
it's Oche, actually, Oche, not Ohe, Oche.
Okay, okay, it's Oche. Oh, that means she's well,
Oche,
fine.
yes.
Thank you. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Buki.
Alright.
Well, my name is Oluwatosin Oladimeji Ladipo. I happen to be the host on the clinic with Oluwatosin Oladimeji Ladipo, our weekly program that we always have every Sunday, as usual. But it just happened that I happen to be the guest for today. That is who Tosin is. Tosin is married. She's a married woman with a son, a wonderful son of 5-year-old. That is who I am. Tells. Well, she has already told us what the clinic is all about. That is a platform where we help the youth and the young adults to maintain virtue while breaking limits. So I guess that is just me. That is what Tosin is. Thank you so much, Buki.
Alright. Nice to have you. So I guess we can go straight to the questions. But I'll
Okay.
just give you a minute. I would like to be seeing what streams are saying so we can also see questions from our viewers as well.
Okay.
Okay.
So it just happened that I happen to
So,
be the nice to have you. So I guess we can go straight to the
sorry, I'll
question.
need to mute this so it doesn't echo in. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. So we're going straight into the questions. Okay. Tosi, I just want you to give us a briefing of just give us a brief intro of how growing up was for you. How was it, why I'm giving you this, why I want you to do this is I want people who at some point felt the pressure, like like getting married was a thing at some point in their life, and it was like a pressure from within, a pressure from the environment, a pressure from family. So I want to know, how was it like growing up for you, and at what point did you start to think, okay, it was time to get married, and what actually prompted that? So maybe we start with that as a foundation, then we now talk about the challenges that you were faced with at that point of taking that decision.
Okay, like I said, my name is Oluwatosin Oladimeji Ladipo, popularly known as Tosin, really. I grew up in the midst of boys. I happen to be the only female in my house. I grew up in the midst of, we are 5 children, really, 5 children. So I happen to be the only female in the family. And growing up, things were quite okay, really. Things were quite okay. But at the verge of, imagine you, let me put it this way. I live in the United Kingdom. I live in Newcastle precisely. But I grew up in Nigeria. I'm an African and I grew up in Nigeria. And imagine you being a female, really, aside you being the only girl in your family, you being a female in Nigeria, in an African setup. There is a particular point in everyone's life. Like Buki started, she said, for every child, pressure from this, pressure child to grow up, child to grow teeth, child to walk, all sorts of pressure. Now you being a girl, some things are expected of you. For example, maybe in your 20s, people are already looking, what is happening? Now, when are you bringing home someone? Are there no suitors? All sorts of things. Those were the things I went through. And imagine, I got married at the age of 38. I got married at the age of 38 and I grew up in the midst of boys. And like I've always said, all my brothers, all their wives, I am actually older than all of them. So imagine the pressure that would have been on me. And my father happened to be the firstborn of his own parents. He happened to be the firstborn in his home, in his family. My extended family. My father happened to be the firstborn, and he has taken a lot of his siblings to the altar. So he was waiting for the very day that he would take his only biological daughter to the altar, and this biological daughter was not forthcoming, and and all lights were on me. Especially when all my brothers are married. Well, one is late now. He wasn't married before he died, really. But the other three, when all of them were married, and I happened to be older than all their wives. So people were like, Tosin, what is happening? Pressure from society, pressure from the church, pressure from friends, pressures from family, pressures all over. Now thinking, what can I do? Those were the things that I actually went through. Really. Those were the things I went through. It wasn't funny. And sometimes some of them could be very nasty, really. Some of them could be very nasty. And some of them out of love, really. They were doing this. Some of them were doing it out of love. I even remember there was one experience that I had with my brother, my immediate elder brother. I remember then that I had that experience. I was living with him, really. I was living with him. I was second born. I was living with him and he was married. So one particular day we are having like family, is it what do they call it? The morning devotion. Yes, they're praying in the house. And my brother just raised a prayer point. He said, please, after prayer, he said, please, let's pray for Tosin. That God will know something like that, something that has to do with marriage, that God will sort out maritally. Do you know what I said as a person? I just said, please, stop it. That was where the prayer stopped though. I just said, please, stop it. My brother was hungry. Of course, he felt hot. He was so hungry. But what I felt was, why will you make me a prayer point? I told them, please don't make me a prayer point. But, and I understand, to date, of course, we've all grown up. We've all grown. But then, I'm sure he was very hot with what I did. He was doing it out of love for the only sister that he has. But I was feeling bad that, why will you make me a prayer point? Did I tell you there is a problem? Do you know the state of my life? Do you even know if I want to get married? Do you understand? Do you know several things? You didn't ask me questions. Why will you just comfort and say, oh, let's pray for Tosin? Me, I felt no. He's a no for me. So those were the things I know I went through as a child while growing up. Thank you so much, Buki.
Very interesting, actually. Very interesting. I got married at the of 30. And to me, I felt like, wow, that I felt I tried. But hearing 38, really, that's a lot. But, it takes the grace, really. And although
Exactly.
I didn't see it as a problem when I was 30, I didn't have pressures from home. So maybe I had siblings that had gotten married. Maybe they were so much, it wasn't such a big deal to them because they had already married people out, but some families, it's a big deal, really. So I can understand when you say pressure, really, I can understand. So I want to ask this question. What kind of experiences can married people consider as pressure regarding their status? What kind of experiences? What can somebody do to you that you just feel that this is, or what are the things that you see that you feel like, oh, you're under pressure to get married? What kind of experiences can
All right. Thank you
them
so
as
much.
pressure to?
Okay, thank you so much, Buki. Let me start from where I stopped, really. Let me start from where I stopped. Because I feel, okay, let me put it this way. Pressures, these are the things, the experience, some things that you went through in life, that puts you at the verge of giving up on the values that you believe in, that you've always believed in. Do you understand? The things that you went through, that, oh, you just feel that these are for example, I believe that, oh, no sex before marriage. Those were the things I believed in. I believed it totally, that I wasn't going to have sex with anyone. It wasn't that somebody forced it on me. It wasn't. But because it was my own belief, it was what I believed in, and I believed it as a virtue. Because I believe that if I have a boyfriend, I'm with this one, after that one, maybe this one said the relationship didn't work. Probably I want, and I went through another relationship, and probably that one too didn't work, and probably I must have slept with this one, slept with that one. I was sleeping with everyone. So I told myself that, if you continue sleeping with, not that I slept, I'm just saying as an example, that sleeping with
Mhm.
different guys before marriage, and at the end of it, what will your husband meet as a person? Do you understand? So those were the things I
Mhm.
told myself, that, see, no sex with anybody before marriage. It was my own personal decision. So when I'm talking about values, is one of the value that I believe in. So when pressure are coming forth, I want to make you to react negatively, by dropping the things that you believe in. Do you understand? By dropping the values that you have always
Yeah.
believed in. Those are the things I can consider as pressure. Like earlier on, that, and there are some of this pressure could be pressure from society. Do you understand? There are pressure from family, especially there are pressure from the society, there are pressure from friends, there are pressure, and it could be financial pressure. Now, let me explain it one by one. When I said pressure from family, I guess I've used myself as an example when I started, really. When, aside my brother, I guess he was doing that, but my mother was on me because she has been to a lot of people's wedding, and she really wants people to attend her own daughter's wedding too. And this is a daughter that wasn't forthcoming, but they didn't know what I was going through. And that is when they be like, oh, is there any problem? What can we do? What is this? What is that? Those are the questions they keep asking you, like that. And then aside the family pressure, what of friends? Especially when you have friends that, all of them, what were in my own, Bookie happened to be our presenter today happened to be my friend. She got married at 30, and we have some friends that got married at 20, at the age of, in their 20s. That was when they got married. And imagine me getting married at the age of 38. I got married at the age of 38. Imagine friends. Oh, Tosin, there are some gatherings that I was going there, and after going to different, probably friends, friends wedding, different occasions. When you see some of your friends there, the kind of high, some of them were really nice, why some of them were very nasty, like I said. Oh, what is your problem? Do you want our children to be calling you aunties? All those things, all those words, those were the things that I went through. And what can you say about pressure from the society? Like, I believe sometimes, it's something that is even happening there in the UK. And I guess it's a law, really. It's a law in the UK. No one should put pressure on you to get married. No one, because you can charge that person to court. Nobody should put pressure to get married. It's actually unlawful here in the UK. So, but imagine someone in Africa. Do you understand? Imagine someone in Africa, because I've seen some offices, some what will I call it now? Some offices that when there are some promotions that are not given to the unmarried people due to their status. They cannot get such promotions because they are unmarried. Why? Those are the pressure they are getting from the society. I think it should be something that I don't know why they made those policies. I sincerely don't know why they made those policies. It's best known to them, but I don't think it's something that should be really. If I'm more qualified, you see somebody that is well qualified in all ramifications, then just because this person is not married, person is not due for the promotion. Why? So those are the pressure, and all this pressure, sincerely, all this pressure can even make that can make the unmarried individual herself or himself or herself, can make such person to even put pressure on themselves too. Do you understand? Because all this pressure coming all together, and you're like, oh, I need this promotion, but at all cost. Do you understand? I need this promotion. My parents are on me. This one is on me. What can I do? Tosi, you just need to get out of this mess. You need to really get out of this mess. So you yourself, because of all this pressure, you're now putting this pressure on yourself too. So those are the things that someone can go through. And I mentioned something about financial pressure too. Financial pressure in the form. Okay, let me use one. I want to be practical in this at this stage now. I remember someone, a friend of mine. She's from a very wealthy home, very, very wealthy home. She planned, because she was unmarried then, really, she's married now, she was unmarried then, and she needed a finance for something like a business. She actually wanted to do a business. But because she was unmarried, she wanted to go and tell, I was like, oh, go and meet mommy or dad. Talk to them. Tell us I can't go. Why? Because I'm not married. Do you understand? I'm not married. So sometimes because of pressure financially, you're tense. Where can I get this money from? Where is this one? And to the extent that some of them even do what they feel it shouldn't be. They know they bring down their value by sleeping with people. So those are the things that a lot of people experience. I experience it. Some people experience it. Some people are still experiencing it now, which I think it shouldn't be. Thank you so much, Buki.
Thank you, Tosin. That's well said. Really, I mean, I could actually just, as we are talking, I wanted to say what are the pressure that we put on ourselves, and you have explained that, you have answered that as well. There's something that comes to mind really before I take the second question. You know, sometimes even in the environment that we find ourselves, people tend not to respect you because they feel you are not married. It means marriage is start to, responsibility.
Exactly.
You are responsible when you're married. And when you're not married, they just sort of disrespect you. Even in your place of work, people that are your subordinates, they could just talk in some manner because they are married, and sometimes you feel like, oh, I need to be married to show them that, no, I'm more than them. And sometimes those are the kind of pressures that we put on ourselves because of the situation that we found ourselves in. And that's one of the things I wanted to ask that, okay, what are the time? Is it like there is a date that is put on marriage that on so and so date or so and so age you must get married or something like that, really? And I wonder why do we sort of put ourselves under pressure when it gets to that point? I want to ask another question just before we go on. As we go on, what should be the mental state of the married hoping to marry? Sometimes the situation is, you need to have a grip of yourself sometimes, because mentally, somehow you are, the things that people throw at you have a way of affecting you, whether you like it or not. Somehow you have a point where you are on your own and you tend to think of all those things. How would this girl behave like this? Why would this thing happen? And sort of we try to think over it, and somehow it affects us mentally. So we want to know what should be the mental state of the married, hoping that, yes, marriage is coming soon.
Well, sincerely, I am being sincere now. It's not something that is easy for anyone to go through in life, having pressure from all sides. When you even need some people to even support you, all of them, especially when you're going through something in life, you're expecting your family to stand by you. Do you understand? You're expecting friends to stand by you. But in this case, nobody, everybody, go and marry. As if there must be a tag that you have to marry at all costs. Do you understand? That's what I think. Not what I think. What should be? what should be is you should, because your mental states really matter in life. It really matters. So I think for everyone that is going through all this, you should be mentally stable. And your mental, it has something to do with your mind. It has something to it has something to do with your mind and with your emotion. So you have to be mentally stable and be emotionally balanced for you to take charge of your life, because these are the things that will help you to manage things well, to manage all this pressure. But when you are vulnerable, do you understand? When you are not stable mentally, when you are not balanced emotionally, you will not be able to take charge of your life. You will just be vulnerable at every slap, every slap from different people. It will make you to, like, you just want to, like, do everything they are saying. Oh, you have heard that, they have heard. Do this, you will go that way. Do that, you will go that way. You are not yourself in any way. You are not picking up your life for you to be in charge and and take control of everything. So my advice for everyone is, because you need this state for you to get on in life. So my advice is, you have to be mentally stable and be emotionally balanced. That is what I can say. That is what your state should be when you're going through all this.
All right. Thank you so much, Tosin. I think we really need to have a stand and let people know your stand, really. And don't be the kind of person that can be easily moved around by every wave that comes your way. And let people see that you are happy in it. Let them see that you're happy. Not that when people see that you are depressed, they bring more depression. That's what I see most times, because when they see that, oh, this situation is a problem for you, they keep sinking it into your head. They will be telling you, reminding you of the one you want to forget, and somehow it puts you in that state that you really may not be able to make the right decision. And it's difficult for someone who is in that state to to take this all in, so that you not jump and go and make the wrong decision. Sometimes pressure on people. I want to pick one or two questions and one or two comments from our viewers. Somebody said getting accommodation is a problem as a single lady in Nigeria, which is true, because landlords will say, are you one of the first questions they want to know, especially when it's a lady, because they believe that if you are not married at that age, there's something wrong with you, and they feel that maybe you are messing around, and they don't want to give their house to an unserious person or an irresponsible person. So to them, responsibility is marriage. So if you are not responsible, if you are not married, you are not responsible. They don't want to give their house to you. So those are one of the pressures that we face here in Nigeria. I don't know about other countries, but in Nigeria, that is one problem. If you are not married, and I don't know, can you say, is it the same thing in the UK? Do we experience such in the UK? Tosin, over to you.
Of course, well, thank God she puts there that is Nigeria, not in the UK here. Like I said, there is equal rights for everyone. Equal rights, equality. Do you understand? There is equality, whether you're married or you're not married. And funny enough, let me even put it this way. In Nigeria, I was living all alone. Initially, I was living with my parents before they relocated. But I was after that, I was living alone. I was living alone in Surulere. In fact, not just in a room, I was living alone in 2-bedroom apartments. So imagine a single girl living alone in 2-bedroom apartments in Surulere. What will you think of such lady? Oh, she has money. She's the one living in 2-bedroom house. Can we actually face her? Do you understand all those things? I even remember a time that I actually wanted to buy a car. People were like, I don't see him. I don't do all sorts of things, like that's because I made up my mind as a person. I want to enjoy my life. I just want to. This is me. I just want to enjoy life. And I was able to enjoy it no matter what the edict of others were. God helps me.
Yeah, that's so good. Thank you. Good to hear. Somebody is saying here, he said, in your weights, share your major disappointments. They said, did you have a broken relationship or no man came at all? Give examples of actions of friends that their actions made you feel bad. I think we should delve into one or two of these. Say in your weights, share your major disappointments. Were there situations that maybe you were in a relationship and one thing happened and broke up and all, that we should share it. Because there are people that are going through such situations that they just feel that they are left alone, and they just feel that, oh, it's happened to only me. Sometimes when we share these things, it just helps the other person to, get stronger and feel that, okay, this person can pull through, then I can also pull through. Then also, he also said, did you have broken relationship or no man came at all? Some people didn't have any man coming at all, not because they are bad, but because other men felt that somebody has come. I don't know if you understand that. People just feel that, okay, maybe somebody has come, and they see somebody is there, because just see you are always happy, smiling, and they just feel that everything is finished, probably in a relationship. So the act of assumption, they never came, So I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say.
I understand
it well. Say one or two about that. Yeah.
I understand.
Do you have any comments on that?
A lot of comments, really. Sincerely, suitors were coming. A lot of people were coming. People were actually coming. And that was where my own problem was lying then. That was where my problem was. Because people were coming and some people thought that, oh, Tosin, what do you actually want in men? These people are good looking. They are not bad people. Some of them are church people. Do you understand? So what exactly do you want that's making you to this long? Is it that you have a problem? Those were the things that you were asking me. But in my own case, they came. But because, like I've always said, then I wrote some things down, but before I said those things, I told myself that when people start asking, I remembered at my introduction, one of my uncles said, he reminded me of something. He said, Tosin, you're always saying it, that when the time comes, that everybody will see it and they will celebrate it. Now the time actually came and we are now celebrating it. I said, yes. But what happened then, when people were asking, I kept telling them that I don't know if God wants me to get married, if he doesn't want me to, no problem. And the reason why I was saying that was that when the guys that were coming, even in the church, I'm saying with emphasis now, even in the church, a lot of them wanted sex. They wanted sex. A lot of them wanted it. Oh, it has to be sex before marriage. You have to know how sexually active you are. Do you understand? They have to. I love the way he even put all his questions. What were the examples of actions of friends that, that made you feel bad? Yes, because all these guys, a lot of them wanted sex. Do you understand? And I remember some of my friends in the church, some of them said, because they've got to know some of them that were like coming then. And they will ask me, Satosin, what happened to this one? I said, no, I'm not doing no. Said, why? because he wants me to, we want us to sleep together before marriage. And they were like, Satosin, is there a problem with that? Everyone, you don't want to sleep with everyone, you don't want to sleep. How will you know that person is sexually active? I looked, we are both in the same church. Do you understand? We are both Christians. Do you understand? We are both calling Christ. We are all professing that we are Christians. But this is the person. That is her. That is not me. But I remember I said, come. You might feel it's not something bad, really, but to me it's something bad. Maybe because it's a value I've always upheld, that I really want to keep myself before marriage. Maybe that is why I'm still following it. But the truth is that if I sleep with anyone today, after sleeping with them, nobody will know, because it's not written on anybody's forehead. It will not be written that doesn't just me sleeping with this person. Nobody will know. But because I have made up my mind, I have decided that I wasn't going to. So those are the reasons. I said, if God wants me to, because if all I'm doing is I want to obey God. Do you understand? I want to uphold the value that I've always known. So if these people are coming, I'm saying no, I'm saying no. So maybe it's not yet time. So when is God's time that God want me to get married? I will definitely say yes. So those were the things I was saying. And aside that, the friendship, the other one that's the one that said, Tosin, there is nothing bad in you sleeping. I remembered another friend. I went for a program, United Nations program, sometimes in Ibadan. Yes, Premier Hotel in Ibadan. I remember I went for that program then. And I met someone. We were good together. Funny enough, I never knew this guy was married. I never knew he was married, and he was all over me. Before I got to Lagos, he was already in Lagos in my house. By to the extent that my parents were like, oh, they were afraid that, what happened? Is she that she's alive? Because my phones were not going through. And this was, and it told them that we had a program together. So this is what I want. What's the reason why both of us broke up? That I said nothing for both of us. I believe in paying of tithes. That is me. Those were the values that I've always known as a young girl that I've been keeping. I believe in paying tithes as a person. I'm not saying to anyone that doesn't believe in tithe, that is my belief. So don't hold me that, oh, Tosin said on our program that she paid tithe. If you don't believe in it, it's yours. That's mine. That is what I believe, that I should pay tithe as a person, and it's working for me. So when this guy came, he said, oh, the money, because actually they gave us money at the program, really. I don't know what they call it. They gave us money. And he asked me, so what are you going to do with your money? I said, okay, I'm going to pay tithe. After tithe, I will do this, I will do that. He didn't look at the other things I said. The only thing that crossed his mind was, oh, you will pay tithe. Why must you pay tithe? He was really annoyed. He was so angry. Why must you pay tithe? I was like, what is it? Is it not my money? I want to pay tithe. I said, no. All this, that, all the anger was too much. It was really, really too much. I just looked at him. I said, well, in the first place, I've not told you yes. We are still like, friendship stuff. But with this one, please, nothing for both of you. When some other friends heard again, supposed Christians, when they heard, I said, no, this is the reason. They said, Tosin, are you normal at all? Are you normal? When things is happening in the world and people are even doing everything to get their man, you are driving men away. Are you okay? Are you normal? I said, what, is there anything wrong in what I've done? They said, why will you tell somebody that even some pastors don't believe in tithes? Why will you tell somebody to go because of tithe? I said, well, don't be angry. Oh, this is me. Abi, is it not me? I'm not bearing your name. You're not bearing my name now. This is what I've always believed. So those were the things that I went through as a person, and the odds I got from friends too. Do you understand? So, and I've been able to answer that. A lot of guys came, but I was the one telling them no, just because I did not want to like lower my values that I've always believed in. Thank you, Buki.
All right, nice to hear. I wanted to say, sometimes when you're going through this phase, the friends that you have at that point, what are their states? Are they married as well, or did you have friends that were not married to like you? And how were you able to manage the relationship with your friends that were married at that time? Because sometimes when friends get married, you notice that the relationship is not as strong as before, because there's going to be like some sort of separation in some kind, because their attention is sort of divided. I mean, I would say divided. Their attention is shifted. So at that point, do you feel like you're alone, or do you feel like, oh, now my friends are married, I'm just alone, or do you have that kind of feeling at some point?
Buki, if you know me too well, and I'm sure you know me very well, is one of the problems I had as a person. Because where people were like, Tosin, you are not even bothered. Sincerely, I was not, there was not even these people that were having headache for my own problem. They were the one having headache for my own problem. When are you going to get, even me that we were having headache for, I was not even bothered. Because I know what I want. I know what I heard. And I know where I'm going to. So those were the things that kept me as a person. So when people were talking, all the storms, this and that, none of it moved me. None of it moved me as a person. I just did not even bother my head. The only thing that I can say moved me as a person, I remember one time, because I've always programmed in Nigeria, organizing programs for youth and singles, especially on few days before Valentine. That is what I've always done. So I remember that I had a program, was it 2010 or 2011? Either of it, I had a program that year after the program. When I saw the crowd, when I saw the caliber of people that attended the program, I was like, God, this can only be you. The kind of money that was being spent. Do you understand? Giving honorarium to people that did not come from me, people were bringing out money to spend for the program. At the end of it, when I got home, I'm telling you, this is a practical experience. At the end of it, when I got home that day, I was just thanking God for the program. I was seriously thanking God. I was rolling on the floor, thanking God. All of a sudden, my emotion just showed up. I found myself crying. Tosin, why are you crying? I was like, oh, because what moved me most at that program, what really moved me most, somebody gave, like, was it someone or two people, but one particular person, Tony Egedi, she's my friend on Facebook. I'm sure she must have been, she must be hearing me now. She gave a testimony that the first program I had in Lagos, Nigeria, that because then she was helping me to share flyers to people, that in the process of sharing flyers, that she met her husband. And today, then, in 2011, that the both of them were married with children. Do you understand? So when I got home, the emotion just kind of said, God, you are actually using me, that me, I did not even know, to touch lives. This one is giving testimony, that one is giving testimony. At Tosin's program, I met my husband at Tosin's program, this one happened. But God, what of me as a person? Do you understand that? Is it that I really do not want me to get married? That was when that was the first time in my life. I was like, oh, I just started crying. I was like, God, indeed, I know that things like that don't move me. But at this point in time, if you really want me to bring the right people my way, because I really do not know the reason why you're allowing me to go through this process, maybe for a particular reason. And at the end of it, Bookie, sincerely, the reason was being made known to me. The reason was being made known to me. You know why? The following month, no, after the program, sorry, I hope I'm not, am I taking too much of time, or should I?
Yeah. Don't worry, just summarize. We are on track.
Okay.
Don't worry. Just
Okay, because
summarize
you
it.
said I should share my personal experience. That's why I'm saying all this. So after that
No, that's
program,
fine.
okay, so after that program, that same week, because I remember then, that same week, that same month, really, I met someone. I thought it was just an answer to my cry that day, that God actually wanted to answer me. So I met this guy. We are good together. We are this. And at the end of it, I didn't know that he was even ready to get married. I remember that I shared this experience when I invited Pastor into my program. I remember that I shared this experience too. I never knew the guy too was even about getting married. He got married. It was my pastor then that saw everything on Facebook, and he called me, said, Tosin, this person is married. I was like, God, I thought you wanted to use that avenue to compensate me. That's because I cried. God wants to compensate me. But to cut the long story short, do you know, after then, when the guy just left it, I closed my eyes, I moved on. That same month, a friend of mine, Bosse, I'm sure she's watching now. Bosse, we all went. There is this program because Special Olympics Nigeria. We went to the airport to pick the people that went to Greece. We went to pick them. All of a sudden, she received a phone call and she started crying. Bosse, what happened? Her husband, her brother-in-law just died. I said, Bossa, is that all? He said, fine, no, but there is a reason. The reason is because both of them, she and the husband, whatever, they had a clash then. But the long and short of it was that Bossa started crying that no, that this relationship will not work again. It's just at the verge of breaking up and all that and all that. I said, Bossa, that is not enough for you to cry. He said, Tosin, you don't really understand it. You don't really I said, what is it that I do not understand? He said, how old are you? You don't understand what I'm going through. I said, okay, Bossa, how old are you? She told me her age. You know, I'm older than Bosse. I am older than Bosse. And now said Bosse, look, I understand you well. That, you know, just like this same month, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I broke up with someone. This was what happened, that the person got married. I did not even know that it was my pastor that got to know. And Bosse said, Tosin, and he did not die. I said, why will I die? Because somebody else got married. Do you understand? Why will I die? I have a life to live. I have to move on. And because of what I said, Bosse packed the pieces of her life and said, Tosin, please, you have really, really, indeed, you have really, really encouraged me. Now I have strength. I have the courage to move on. So what I'm saying in essence is that sometimes God allow you to pass through some things for you to encourage others. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tosin. Thank you so much. I wanted to say something again. The fact that our family are really worried about us. In fact, The people that worry about us most when it comes to this marriage issue is our family. They don't
Exactly.
really know how to express it without hurting us. Sometimes they just want to, sometimes they could be quiet and just be watching, but you know that in their mind they have it there, they want to talk. And those who are vocal enough to express themselves would come to you and say, okay, so when are we seeing the brother now? You know, they'll just say it in some way and all that. But you know, how do we now express ourselves to them? Not to shut them up like leave me, I'm on my own, I will go without hurting them. How do we try to like let them know that yes, we are on top of this, we are putting things, I mean, God is in control, you know, just how do we express ourselves without hurting them, without saying things that would sort of make them feel that they need to distance themselves, or they don't need to get involved in our business, or they don't need to show their love the way they want to. You know, how do we express that to our family or friends
Ah,
that want to show their concern?
Buki, I want to say we need wisdom to do that, really, because you are the one passing through that stage. They do not understand it, especially when they got married, not at your own age. Do you understand? Not at your own age. So they
Yeah.
might not understand what you're facing, what you're feeling. Like I said in the case of my brother, he was doing it out of love. He did it out of love, really, for the only sister that he has, the only biological sister that he has. But how did I take it? Fine, I understand that it was really, I took it wrongly. Sincerely, I took it wrongly. It was bad. He was hurt, sincerely. But I felt that sometimes, maybe I'm saying it on both sides now, sometimes try to understand the person you're trying to help. What is really making this person to
Yeah.
still be in this condition? Does this person actually want to get married? There are some people that do not want to get married in life. Oh. And you not getting married is not even a sin, no, it's not a crime, sincerely. So you try to understand what they are feeling and know how to really pass the message across to them so that you will not feel hurt as a person. And at the end of it, the message you are passing to the person will not be wasted. And you that you are the unmarried, and you that you are the unmarried, I think that's why I said you need wisdom. Because in my own case, when I was just at the verge, I was on the edge rather. Anything, please, please. I was really, the red flag was there for them. Don't come near me. That is this. Don't come near, because I was tired of all those things. Don't. What is this? Is life all about marriage? Why can't you advise me on how to get better in life? Do you understand how to develop myself, how to do this, how to do
Yeah.
that? It's not all about marriage. Now I understand that marriage is sweet. Fine, it's a good thing. Especially when you get married to the right person. It's a good thing, it's sweet.
Yeah.
Let's like, what if you really want these people to really want to enjoy the marriage? Talk to them, help them, at least help them, not pushing them, putting all the pressure on them. Get married, get married. At the end of it, they get married to the wrong people, and they will ask you in future, now you force me to get married. What is this? Just because they are not enjoying it. So try to like bring some discussions to them. Tell them, how will you develop your life? What are you thinking about life? How is this? How is that? How is that? Do you understand? Not necessarily all about marriage.
Yeah.
Life is not all about marriage. There is more to life than this marriage, because especially when you're there, you will know that it's not all about marriage. Thank you so much, Buki. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Tosi. I want to say that in life, pressure will never stop. So really, we have to be prepared for this pressure. It will never stop, because even after marriage, there will be pressure for when will you have a child, when will the children start to come. And when there's a little delay, everybody's in your case. Is on your case, and so definitely pressure will come. So how are we going to be managing this pressure? It's God that will help us. Because then, even the one that we put on ourselves, you pass on the road and it seems like everybody coming around you is pregnant, and you are trusting God for a child. You know, you start thinking, "Ah, when it might won't come," you are putting yourself already under pressure. So sometimes in life, pressure will just never stop. So at this point, I want to ask you to see this pressure, this thing called pressure. What is your advice for singles who are going through this kind of pressure? Maybe the one they put on themselves, the one that family put on them, the one that the society has dumped on their head, or the ones that you know, even the place of work, there's this kind of law that just doesn't favor your marriage. What would you be your advice for these people?
My advice to everyone that, with all this pressure all over, combating you. Mine is be emotionally stable, be mentally balanced, be mentally stable, and you must be emotionally balanced. Be focused in life. Take charge of your life. When all these people put pressure on you, at the end of it, the life is still yours. Just stay in charge.
Yeah.
Just stay in charge. And how can you stay in charge? For example, ask yourself what you want. What exactly do you want as a person? Do you want to get married? And even if you have answered the question that I want to get married, why do you want to get married? What is making friends? No, the right tutors to no to push them away. Is it your character that is pushing them away as a person? Do you understand? Those are the things you need to work on,
Yeah.
so that you will not keep driving the right tutors away. And sometimes the right tutors might not be the one coming. What is it that is making you to, like, to invite the wrong tutors your way, the wrong people your way? Do you understand? So those are the things you really
Yeah.
need to work on as a person. Ask yourself, what really, really do you want? I want to conclude with this, and it's just a little short story about what helped me as a person while I was waiting on God for my own Mr. Right, Mr. Chani, as people call it. Let me just say, because I remember then when I was thinking, Tosi, what exactly do you want? I have to clear my own decks first before I can face the world that please leave me alone. So I asked myself, I remember I was in the room that day, something just struck my heart. If you know me very well, I love Indomie noodles. I love noodles, especially Indomie noodle. I love it. And you all know what you all know what pounded yam is. It's funny enough, it's my native food, but I never liked pounded yam. But this was what else, and I want to say the story. I don't like pounded yam as a person. I love Indomie so much. Even till now, I love Indomie as a person. So a picture just came to me that I was in a restaurant, in a cafe, and the waiter came. This was what helped me. And the waiter came and asked, "Oh, what do you?" I went there with a friend, and the waiter came and asked, "What do you want? What do you want?" The other person said Indomie. Then within me at that point in time, despite I love Indomie, but what I felt like eating was pounded yam. Do you understand? Of course, they made Indomie for the person. The person ate the Indomie. Under 5 minutes, the Indomie was ready with a bottle of Coke, felt so refreshed, and it was done. I was waiting for my own pounded yam. Within that 5 minutes, they were still peeling my yam. Do you understand? Before they put it on the fire, before it gets cooked, before they start pounding, after pounding and all sorts. And God helps you if you have soup. If you don't have soup, before you start cooking the soup to eat the pounded yam, it will take roughly 2 hours for you to eat what you really feel from your heart to eat. 2 hours. Imagine, compare 2 hours to 5 minutes. Definitely you will feel so refreshed with the Indomie, because I love eating Indomie. I will feel so refreshed after eating the Indomie with a bottle of either Coke, a soft drink, feel so refreshed. That's my pounded. But the words came to me and was tossing. What exactly do you want? Is it the Indomie, the noodles for 5 minutes that will make me to be refreshed temporarily, but within me I am not fulfilled? Or the pounded yam that will take long, yet after eating it, I'll be so glad that at least this is what I really feel like eating. Do you understand? And that was what helped me as a person. I said, okay, so no shortcuts, no short corner. Wait, wait, just wait. When all the red flags are there, wait. And I waited. At the end of it, I'm happy for it today. I am happy. I am fulfilled for who I got married to. And the whole world celebrated me when the time came. So it's all about that. So my candid advice to everyone is wait. What do you want? Ask yourself all these questions, and it will help you to withstand all sorts of pressure coming your way. Thank you, Buki.
Oh, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, Tosi. That's really a good one, really. I don't know why I was just smiling. Really, this difficult waiting is so simple to talk about, really. But when we are faced with it, it's not as simple as when you're going through it. I would even feel that when it comes to, sorry, you know how it is with NEPA. 1 minute, sorry. Okay, I want to even say that when it comes to waiting for, for the right partner, it could be even really easy a bit. But when it comes to waiting to have a child, maybe you take that as a topic sometime. it's more difficult, really. It's more difficult. And it's only God that gives the grace for those that wait to have the right partner, will also give the grace for those who are trusting God for a child. Thank you so much, Tosin. It's been wonderful having you here. I'm so sorry for the lights. The lights will soon come on right now. Sorry, it's what we are faced with in this part of the world, and we just try to adapt to it. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation to join today's program. It's nice having you, even though you are the face of the clinic itself. It's nice having you here. We've learned a lot from you. And from the comments from all the people, we want to say thank you to everyone. Also, thank you, Kiki. Thank you, Comfort Temitope. That's, I guess, is your sister, your family member. Thank you, Olasubo. Thank you, Ayo Deji. Ayola, thank you, Lele. We just want to say thank you to everyone for joining in today. And this is where we'll be joining the curtain today. Say thank you, everyone, for joining, and have a wonderful day. Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you. It's nice having you. Thank you so much. Thank you.